Ancient mirrors were never just for reflection. Before they showed us our faces, they showed us our souls. Long before glass and silver, mirrors were carved from obsidian, bronze, or polished stone. But these weren't tools of vanity. They were portals, instruments of ritual, symbols of something far deeper. In ancient Mesoamerica, obsidian mirrors were sacred. The Aztecs worshipped Tezcatlipoca, the smoking mirror, a god who could see everything, even what you tried to hide from yourself. High priests used black volcanic mirrors for scrying. They believed that if you looked long enough, the mirror would look back. In Egypt, mirrors reflected more than beauty. Shaped like the sun and dedicated to Hathor, they were placed in tombs to light the path into the afterlife. They weren't just meant to show your face, they were meant to help your soul find its way. In ancient China, bronze mirrors hung in homes and temples. They were polished to perfection and believed to ward off evil spirits. Some were engraved with celestial symbols on the back, invisible in daily use, but always present. It was said that demons couldn't stand their own reflection. A mirror didn't just reflect, it protected. And that's a pattern across civilizations. Mirrors weren't mere objects, they were symbols of truth, of clarity, of revelation. But also of danger. Because seeing yourself clearly isn't always comforting. It can uncover fears, regrets, or desires you've tried to bury. The Greeks knew that. They told the story of Narcissus, so entranced by his reflection he forgot to eat, to drink, until he faded into the water. But the real tragedy? He didn't fall in love with himself. He fell in love with a version of himself that wasn't even real. Medieval Europe took mirrors in a different direction. They became tools for magic. Witches and mystics used scrying mirrors, often blackened glass or obsidian, to gaze into the future. It wasn't about appearance, it was about access, to other realms, other times, maybe even other minds. John Dee, court magician to Queen Elizabeth I, owned a famous obsidian mirror brought from Mexico. He believed it could summon angels or demons. And then there's the folklore. Cover the mirrors when someone dies, they said, because the soul might get trapped inside. Break one and you'll have 7 years of bad luck. Not because of superstition, but because mirrors were believed to hold a piece of your spirit. Today, we mostly check our hair, but even now the symbolism lingers. Think about it. Mirrors in horror films, mirror mazes in carnivals. Mirrors are never just mirrors, they're the unknown staring back. And in a strange twist, we've come full circle. Because what are social media selfies but modern obsidian mirrors? Polished surfaces showing us carefully constructed versions of ourselves, sometimes filtered, often fake, and yet addictive. We stare, we adjust, we post. But deep down, the question remains the same as it did 3,000 years ago. Who is really looking back? Because mirrors don't just reflect your appearance, they reflect your patterns. The way you hold your shoulders when you're anxious, the tension in your jaw when you're suppressing something, the look in your eyes when you're pretending to be fine. It's not about how you look, it's about what leaks through. A mirror doesn't lie. It just shows you the version of yourself you try hardest not to see. So next time you look in the mirror, ask yourself, are you seeing your reflection, or a question you've been avoiding? Drop a comment. What do you see when the mirror gets quiet? Like and subscribe if you're drawn to the stories, hiding just beneath the surface.